It was an hour before the end of 1973, and all the engines at Allsburg West were having a New Year's Eve party by the yards. There was a lot of jubilation amongst the engines, staff, and the residents who lived nearby. It had been quite the eventful time for the Arsdale Railway, with business expanding and more engines coming to help. Mr. Fergus Duncan, the small controller, never expected so much to change ever since the railway opened, and he had the fat controller to thank for that. He hoped that the new year and beyond would bring about more business for the railway. Mike and Rex were busy amusing everyone with their antics. However, no one noticed a little yellow engine off to the side, away from the festivities. It had been quite the year for Jock, the newest addition to the fleet. He had his fair share of trials and tribulations, as any new engine would. He was quietly looking back at his first year in service. "Penny for your thoughts, Jock." Jock looked up and saw that Bert, Mike, and Rex had rolled up to him. "Oh, not really, Bert. You've been sitting here for almost the entire party, mate," said Rex. "You'd think a strong engine like you would be all for the attention here," Mike added with a hint of smugness, though one stern look from Bert and Rex had him back down. "Well, it's been quite the year for me so far," Jock began. "The first thing I remember was waking up in the workshop as they were finishing the final touches, and seeing Brady and Bonnie, those two little diesels nearby." Brady and Bonnie were two little diesel shunters who helped around the yards and had been shunting parts and supplies as the workmen were building Jock, though they were known by everyone as the Blister Twins. "And all I could think about is what I was doing here," Jock continued. "That was until Mr. Duncan came in and told me everything. And to cut a long story short, I'm sure you know the rest." "We do indeed," said Bert. "But that still doesn't explain why you're over here by yourself." "Well, I just can't help but think about what will happen next year, and the many others thereafter." The original Arsdale trio looked at each other in confusion before looking back. "What do you mean?" asked Rex. "Have you ever feared for the future? It's like you know you did very well when you first started out, but with a few mistakes here and there. How can you be sure that you'll pull through if something happens again?" The small engines were surprised. They all knew Jock was a cheerful and confident engine, but to hear him worry about the future was something new entirely. "Where's all this coming from, Jock?" Mike asked. "Well, it happened after earlier this year when I worked with you, Mike. Are you talking about the time we double-headed that train and you helped me out because my injector failed and couldn't help pull the train any further?" "Yeah. Before that, I was cocky and I thought I didn't need any help. And you wouldn't have tried to show me up if I wasn't being such a prat. To be fair, I shouldn't have been so hot-headed at the time," Mike admitted, looking at his buffers. "Also, I was jealous of you ever since you moved that trailer across the yard at the time. Even still, I shouldn't have let it get to my smoke box, and I don't want it to happen again." "Is that what this is all about?" asked Bert. "You're worried about mucking up again in future?" "Yes." The three engines stared for a moment, before chuckling, much to Jock's confusion. "Mate, you think you're the first engine to make a mistake?" said Rex. "What do you mean?" "Soaked one of two visitors when they accidentally splashed me. Lost my whistle in a field because I kept blowing it during a passenger run. And crashed into a bale of wool that was dropped onto the line by a careless farmer." Jock could only blink in disbelief. "The point is, Jock," said Bert, "everyone makes mistakes. It happens all the time, but you should never lose sight of your goal, no matter what. Sometimes we get so puffed up in our smoke box that we lose sight of what's important," added Rex. "And what's important is that we learn from our mistakes. Granted, you'll probably make a lot more," put in Mike. "So don't worry about the future. Whatever happens, well, happens, and what matters is how you handle it. And you know you're not alone. You've got us," finished Bert. Jock looked at his 3 new friends and then smiled broadly for the first time that night. "Thank you, all of you." "Well, what are we waiting for?" perked up Mike. "The night is still young!" The others chuckled in agreement and went back to the yards to join the rest. As the music from the party got louder as they returned, Jock couldn't stop grinning, for he knew he would have a lot more misadventures with his friends on the Arlesdale Railway.